Hello to you. I am your host, Jonathan Davis, for the Today is Your Day show segment, Someone and Things You Need to Know. I welcome you to the show, and I'm so excited about our show today. We have an amazing guest that I definitely want you and the world to know about. But before we get there, I want you to know that you can be on this platform as well. Listen, you have a book, you have a business, you have event coming up. I want people to know who you are, what you do. I want to use this platform just for you. This is all just for you. And so don't waste it. This is an opportunity to get you out there. And you've been wanting to tell people what you do, tell people how to be a part of what you're doing. And this is the platform to do just that. Also, hey, if you need some services, we have them for you. Speaking, branding assistance, life coaching, executive coaching, CEO, mentorship, neuro-linguistic programming, business coaching and consulting, ministry consulting. Listen, you are in need. We are here to help. And we want to thank Davis Consultants for being a sponsor, one of the sponsors for the Today is Your Day show, Someone and Things You Need to Know. We'll hear more about our other sponsors in just a moment, but I wanted to make sure that you know that you can be a part of this show. I hope life is going well. I hope things that you're working on are progressing. Hey, we want you successful. We want you successful. And I want you to come on the show and share with the world how they can be a part of what you are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the stage the amazing Renee Murdock to the Today is Your Day show segment, Someone and Things You Need to Know. And y'all, she is someone that you need to know. And I welcome her today. Welcome, Renee.
Thank you, Jonathan. What's up, everybody? What's up?
I could give an introduction, and say the things that you do, but I said, you know what? She'll do a way better job than me. I just say, hey, y'all, she does magic. She's amazing. And I'm going to throw it to you so you can tell them exactly the magic and the amazing things that you do.
Well, I started off doing magic when I was 5, right?
I love it.
I don't do magic, y'all. I don't do magic. But the pressure is on with Jonathan. Like, you have to introduce yourself, right? What do you say? Hey, I do all things, right? I do many things, but what do I do very well, right? And that's the key. Hey, I'm an entrepreneur. Hey, I'm a veteran. So go Army Strong, hook, and so I'm actually have my own business, which is for Mosaic LLC, where we do coaching and consulting. And then also I'm an author as well. So that's kind of like what I do in a nutshell. Hey, they have a dog. I don't have a dog. So just in case y'all see the dog come about, he likes to say hi when we're, doing FaceTime. And so his name is Muscle. So I'm happily married as well. And with one daughter that I birthed and many other children that we have sold into or that lives in our home. And so we call it the house of refuge at times. So
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. What would you say is the reason that you've gone in your field? So, I mean, there's different things that you've done. You've done the Army. Well, let's start there with thank you for serving. Tell me what got you in going to the Army?
Well, because I was homeless. So I was homeless my senior year of high school. And my mother always said, if you could do it better than I can, you are free to go. So I was like, well, I think I could do it better. So, so I was homeless. It was a very challenging time, my senior year. So me being homeless was like not a choice, but then again, it was a choice, right? Because we were homeless as a family. And then I decided, well, hey, it's too many of us here being homeless. I'm just going to go be homeless by myself. So that's what I kind of did. So my older sister was in the service at the time. She had came back, and then She was like, I had graduated. And so I really wanted to go to college. However, the money wasn't there. I really didn't see an opportunity to find the money. And so I was just like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. I wanted to be an actor as well. And I felt like, that particular area got cut short as well. So hey, I went up to New York, where my mother was born and raised, and then was up there for a while. And then my sister's like, "Yeah, nah, you got it. This not working out for you. You gotta go. You gotta do something else." And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And so I was like, "You know what? Why not?" Right? So I just went to her. I think I was like the best recruit because I just walked into the recruiting office and I was like, "Yeah, what do I sign up at?" And like, I'm ready to go tomorrow. Right. So the guy that recruited me or whatever, he's like, "Are you what? Like, who does that?" Right. So anyway, he sat down and talked to me and whatever. And I was like, "Whatever you got, I'll take it." And so I took it or whatever. And then before I went to the MEP station, he took me ice skating, which was my first time going ice skating. And so, yeah, I ended up in the Army doing some great stuff. Doing some great stuff.
How long were you in the military?
I was in the military 12 years.
12.
12 years.
What made you leave?
The Lord, surprisingly, right? And so I was given some different marching orders. It was hard because I was right there, right? About to get, as they would say, careered into the armed forces. And then I was asked to leave. So the Lord was very clear with me. He was like, I can promote you in the spirit. Or you can get promoted natural. I'll still be with you, right? Because he said he'd never leave us nor forsake us. And so I decided to take the purposeful journey versus my own journey because I wanted to climb up, the ranks, so to speak.
Can you talk about that just for a moment? Because I think a lot of times in our lives, well, one, a lot of people struggle with knowing or hearing from the Lord, or they feel that they don't hear him. But also in that great place, doing well, moving forward, and then God says move or leave.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about, start talking first, tap in or share with us about, how you hear from the Lord. And then can you segue into,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that this was God, this is not me, and then him telling you, hey, it's time to transition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, I remember, so I just want to share this real quick. So I remember when I first started kind of like really asking questions about the Lord. So I went to my mother and I said, what does God's voice sound like? Right. I just remember going to her bed and asking her that. And then she was like, "Maybe I can't explain it to you, but you'll just know." Right. And so I just knew that was my question all the time. I would go to adults, what is God's voice? And so no one could really ever tell me what his voice actually sound like. Right. So I can't tell you right now what his voice sounds like. Right. It is a knowing right within your spirit that you are hearing from the Father. Right. It is from relationship, being in an intimate place with him, reading his word, that that it's your Father that is speaking. He is not going to ask you to do something that is out of line of his word. And so he speaks to us in different forms, right? And so he comes to us in visions and dreams, right? Sometimes it's just a knowing, right, within your spirit. Sometimes it's in, it could be in writing, right? Reading something, you could be looking out there at the trees, right? And he just begins to speak through that. And so that's how I know, right, that when I'm hearing something, like it's from him versus myself. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, I got to check myself. Okay, where are you at right now in the space, Renee? What's going on with you? Is this really, the Lord? Is this you? Is just your desire? Is it the enemy? So you have to discern where you are at personally in your life. And so I knew at that moment, and I wasn't trying to go nowhere, right? I was trying to, at that time, just before getting, that word, I was like putting in to become an officer, right? Warrant officer. And I was helping other people with their packets. Guess what happened, Jonathan?
Tell me.
Guess. They got accepted and I didn't. Say what?
No.
I'm like, what? So it's 3 of us trying to go through, right? We all put our packets in. I'm helping them with their packets, right? I'm writing things for them and they get accepted into the program and I do not. Of course, you know, I was feeling some type of way, like what is happening here? And so not too long after that, I PCS, right? I PCS overseas. And then, you know, permanent change of station. Permanent change of station. I'm sorry. I know all day long. So I, you know, I PCS and ended up, you know, living one place, but then having to drive another place. And it was like almost a 40-minute drive where I had to go every single morning, right? So you're talking about 3 a.m. start day, right? Because you got to be there for PT, which is physical training, right in the morning for this first formation or whatnot. But during that time, I ended up in a unit that was predominantly males. And so that's just challenging within itself as a woman in the service. So you ladies out there, you know what I'm talking about, right? Just being in a predominant space with men. And so that was challenging within itself. So here it is. The Lord's like, yeah, it's time for you to go. And I was like, oh, I'm PCSing again. Like, man, I just got here, you know? So that's the first thought, right? Then it was like, yeah, no, it's time for you to leave the service. And I'm like, what? No, that can't be. I'm on a track here. Like, I know that I'm about to get promoted. And sure enough, I got fired. This is just a whole story, so we don't have time for it, but I got fired on my day off, right? And
so, in the military?
Yeah. It's an inside joke that me and my husband said. So I was holding a particular position, right, in the unit. And so you can't really get fired, but I said I got fired, right? And so so I got off work, right? And so because I was working at the battalion, like a 24-hour shift, right? You're off the next day. And so that day that I was off, I got a phone call that night before I was supposed to come back in and say, hey, you need to be here, such and such. And I was like, who are you? You know, oh, I'm your new boss. How are you my new boss? Right? So the position that I had, they were now in that role. And I was like, what? So the next morning, I show up and I go to talk to the commander and them. And they're like, oh, talk to us at the formation. Well, where am I supposed to go at formation? Because now I don't have nowhere to stand, right? So of course I'm feeling some type of way because again, there is no women in this unit but me. When I first got there, there was one woman. She ended up retiring and then it was just me. So I was just like, ain't this a bunch of you know what? So anyway, I got fired, right? Because me and that person had the same date of promotion and the same entry date. The only difference between me and that individual is I was a woman and he was a male. That was the only difference. So you have a whole unit of people, right, that carry the same MOS job description or whatever. So every year this promotion list comes out. And guess who was on the promotion list? I was. No one else was in the unit. So I was the one on the promotion list. Of course, the command, right, had mud on their face and they didn't know what to do with me. But at that same time, I was struggling with, do I go? Do I stay? You know, whatever. So it was interesting during that time when I made the decision, yes, Lord, okay, I'm going to leave. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we can do this for you. We can do that for you, whatever. And I was like, no, I think this is really what I'm supposed to be doing. And it was hard because your flesh is like, no, I'm gonna make them feel this, you know what I'm saying? Because they did A, B, C, D, and E to me. But the more that I just began to meditate on it and just kind of get still, I had to get courageous and go to the command sergeant major and then let them know that I was gonna leave. And that's a hard thing, you know, again, when you're in a space where you're not looked at to be as valuable anyway, right? And also you're the only one that came up on the list out of the whole unit, you know? So that was a hard space to be in, but yeah, You got to be courageous, being courageous.
What did you do? Is that what pushed you to start a business?
Of course not, Jonathan. That was a long time ago. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that long ago, but no, it did push me to do a business. Interesting enough, right? Like I've had small little, trials right along the way up until now, right? And I feel like in my knowing is because you know how they talk about generational things. I feel like a mantle was dropped and I can't run away from it, and I have to pick up that mantle and run with it. And I said yes to that as well. So I feel like when you say yes to things, right, then things just begin to start to happen. So I just felt this weight of entrepreneurship. I felt this weight of finish, right, what's been started. And so I think just going along with certain things, like I had a whole business plan for a cafe. I have a degree in culinary arts, a pastry degree. I love European pastry. And so I was supposed to do that. And I felt like it was an exercise, right? That the Lord, because I did this whole business plan. I went to the Small Business Association. I went to the Chamber of Commerce. I was getting a small business loan. And then guess what? We leave, right? The Lord is like, nope, you're going to leave. What are you going to do with that? So what ends up happening, that whole business plan, guess what? It ends up in someone else's hand and they are doing wonderful. So I feel like I just get exercises along the way. And so I just, complete, and I just kind of go with the flow now. But of course, at first I was like, what? I did all this work. I did all this work. And it was like, yeah, you did do all this work and you did it for this reason right here. So I had to sit with that, and they're doing great. They didn't open up a cafe, but they opened up a bakery. And they actually are making, whimsical cakes, for stars and things. Like it really has boomed. So I think, whatever you are given to do, right, you do it right without so much of holding on to it, versus that you're willing to let it go too at the same time, which makes a difference. I think that makes you a person that the Lord can use. He shows that you're available and that you're not holding on too tight because it's not yours to begin with anyway.
Right. That's good. That's good. And I think a lot of times I say that's good because I think a lot of times we get in this place where, no, he gave this to me. I'm supposed to da 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 da. And then things go south and we're not understanding why. And he's like, I told you the part you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, give it over.
Right.
It sucks because you said, like, I put in all this work to plan and do all this extra leg work, and now I'm just supposed to hand it over to. All right, God, I see you. I ain't happy about it, but I'll do it. Just being honest. Just being honest. A lot of times, God does, makes these decisions that we're like, God, you did not ask for my approval for this. I didn't tell you that I was good with this. But I'll move with it.
Yeah. It's just the testing. It's
right.
Yeah. It's the testing of the heart, right? Yes. To see where your heart posture really is at. Because we can say one thing, but when it's time to respond, that's something else. That's something else.
Is. So tell us, what came first, the book or the business?
I say it was almost simultaneously happening at the same time. So I feel like the book was laying dormant. And the business, what it is currently right now, was there, but I wasn't accepting it. Because I was like, no, that's not for me, right? Like I can support you in that, right? I can be like that person that builds it for you. I can lay you out a blueprint. I can do that for you because I know that that's my strong suit, to come in and help someone build something. And the Lord's like, no, I want you to build this. And so I think the book was it was just kind of happening at the same time. Because I was just like, yeah, no, I can't. There's too much. You know, you want me to write a book and you want me to do this or whatever. I don't know if I have time for that. And it was like, yeah, no, you need to write this. And so
Let's talk about it.
I went ahead and wrote the book, Leadership Evolution. Yes, navigating challenges and inspiring growth. The reason why the book came about is everything that I have done with, you know, my volunteer work, whether I was in the service, whether the government work, is that it all centers around leadership.
Mhm.
All centered around leadership. And I can't get away from it. I can't run away from it. I'm always connected to senior leaders or whatever. I'm always just able to see their vision, and I can like take that thing and run with it. And so what is this evolution when it comes to leadership? Is this burden that I have, right? That the Lord gave me in reference to how we look at leadership and how we are actually serving one another when it comes to our roles and our position. First of all, to be a leader is an honor, right? It's not a right that we have. It is a privilege to be a leader. And if you don't love people, then you are not going to lead well. So in, you know, most leaders, I don't want to say all, but right there, in most leaders, their thought process is, because I'm in this role, that makes me a leader. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. That doesn't make you a leader. A leader comes from being able to see their role as leading and following at the same time. There are times where the position doesn't make you, the title doesn't make you, right? It's the functioning of what you're doing, right? And so if I'm not willing to serve another person, then I'm not willing to lead another person. If I'm not influencing someone to the point where I'm searching for the treasure that's inside of them, to pull out the greatness out of them, to pull out that potential that's already laying there, but I just need somebody to activate that thing, then I'm not leading. People seem to get inferior or seem to, you know, not allow people to grow and to bloom, right, in certain spaces because they have their own issues and makeup, or they feel like somebody's trying to take their spot or their position. No one can take away from who you are. I always say that all the time. You can't take, just be you, right, and be the greatest person that you are. So they can't take that from you. So writing the book kind of talks about the whole person as a leader. A lot of times we go to courses and it talks about one particular area, but this particular book talks about the whole person, the development of the whole person. Where does leadership originally start from? Well, it starts from here, me first, right? It does not start from, you know, going to a class. It does not start, you know, from when I get in a role. No, you better know some things before you get in that role, because you should already be functioning before you actually take on that particular position, right? A heart, a willingness to serve, a heart, you know, for the love of people, the heart to develop yourself first and then begin to develop others. So there's this thing of where we need to deal with ourselves first before we can begin to, you know, deal with other people.
That's good. And so if people are wanting to get this book, which they should,
Yes.
They can go to Amazon.
Yes. Yes, you can go to Amazon and get this book in ebook and on paperback. If you are part of Kindle Unlimited, then it's on Kindle for free. If you're part of that program on Amazon, so you can get your copy there. Good news. Hopefully by next year, I will be in Barnes and Nobles. Whoop, whoop. And so that will be another place where you can get this as well.
That is amazing. So people, this will be life-changing for you. Make sure that you head over to Amazon or Kindle and soon Barnes and Nobles and get this book. I don't know. I would say get this book for your boss, but I don't know if that'll go over well. I don't know if it'll go well, but I think it's a ground for you. Training ground for you. You want to be promoted. You want to go to the next level. I believe a lot of times God places things in our lives that to help equip us. And I believe within my heart and in my knower that this book will do just that. So you all make sure you head on over to Amazon right now as you are watching this and get this book. It's going to be life-changing. Okay, so you also have a business. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is the For Mosaic LLC business that I was talking about that kind of happened simultaneously at the same time. Mm-hmm. So this is a professional coaching business. We do also do some consulting when it comes to executive coaching as well. But we do some group facilitation, some one-on-one coaching, some neuro-linguistic programming as well. We assist individuals with leadership development plans, right? And also we serve as advisors on boards as well. So we do free discovery calls because I always say this, we might not be a fit for you, right? Mm-hmm. And you might not be a fit for us. So in that discovery call, right, we're discovering one another. So it's not just, I'm, thinking about, am I going to take you on as a client or not? But you're also, thinking, do I want to work with this company or not? And so even in your interviews, let me talk about this professional, even in your professional interviews, you are not just being interviewed. You should be interviewing them as well, right? So you might think like, oh man, I want this job. Right. But then you looking, you're watching, you're listening to the people and you're like, oh, this might not work out for me. I don't think that I'm going to, fit into this culture of things. I don't know if I want that person to be my boss. So make sure you're interviewing too at the same time. But yeah, so this is where, hey, go to our website, www.formosaic.com to get that free discovery call as well. You can connect with us on social media. Hey, we got all the socials up there. You want some good inspirational, motivational, not coaching, but informational quotes for you for the day to inspire you to start your day off right. Hey, hit us up on LinkedIn, hit us up on Instagram, IG, and we got something for you every day to get you up, going, and moving.
This is awesome. This is awesome. So, and I mean, I talk about it because, I love and excited that you're NLP as well. Can you, in your words, because people are always like, what is that? I ain't never heard now. Tell them what neuro-linguistic programming is.
So, in my own words, I would say it's a deeper dive into the mental capacity of an individual, of like where they're at mentally. So you're kind of really diving into their thought processes a little bit more, kind of getting them out of themselves, but getting them in tune, like where they're at. I say on their map. I see we all have individual maps. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, summary for me.
And so, okay, from that summary, where do they go from? So what do they gain outside of, or what do they gain from NLP? What does the person gain?
I think so for me personally, I think an individual would gain a better understanding of who they are as an individual, right? How they are functioning in that particular space. They're not looking so much of the environment that is, air quote, affecting them and in their behavior, but now they're looking at themselves and how they are, right, affecting the environment or making their environment. And so if you go through neuro-linguistic programming, I feel like you'll come out with a better knowing of who you are as an individual and understand why you respond to certain things the way you respond to. So it's not therapy. So I want to make that clear. It's not therapy, right? But you do take a deeper dive into the mindset of things.
Getting that anchor.
Yes. Yeah.
That's our terms.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, awesome. Is there anything else? You know what? No, before you give us some last words, let me pay some bills and share with the audience our sponsors. So we'll bring you back in just one moment. Okay, y'all want to know who paid the bills? All right, let's first thank Proclamation 101, one of my main sponsors that helps pay the bills of Today Is Your Day. You can go to YouTube and it's the Proclamation 101. That is all one word. You go to YouTube, type that in, click on subscribe, and also click on the bell to make sure that every time they go live, you are on. Now, they have changed their day. I know this flyer says every Thursday, but they are now have changed their day and time to Tuesdays. They are on every Tuesday now at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. But hey, once you click on subscribing that bell, it doesn't even matter. You're going to know every time they go live. So make sure you head on over to YouTube and click and type in the Proclamation 101. That's all one word. And make sure you hit subscribe and the bell. We also want to thank our partner, A Word and a Song. You can go to Facebook and type in Montre Roberts, Montra Roberts. And every third Sunday, you can catch her at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with A Word and a Song. It's a great time of worship, a great time of Bible study, and just really just enjoying what God is sharing with her, and she's sharing her heart with you all live. So make sure go to Facebook again, Montre Roberts. Click that friend request, and then you will know every time she goes live, and you don't want to miss it. I also want to thank the Perrys with their podcast, Young People Nation. And you can catch them every Thursday, and they'll let you know right now.
I'm Eugene Perry.
I'm Donna Perry, and we're the host
of Young People Nation
podcast.
We know that mental health is way too stigmatized. Young people are hurting. They are in dark places, just wanting to feel heard.
That's why we're bringing no judgment conversations with the guests who have been there, done that, and want to share their experiences in an environment with transparency, healing, and safety.
So tune in and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And just remember,
there's always hope.
And I hope that you tune in to watch and join in on the conversation again. It's every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And they also, so you can catch them on podcasts, but you also can catch them on YouTube as well with the same name, Young People Nation. Don't miss out. Well, all right. We have our amazing Renee Murdock here with us, and we are excited again that she said yes to us. And we are so grateful to have you on today. You have just given us some great nuggets that we needed to hear. And again, I want to make sure people know that they can get the help they need from you. So make sure you all reach out to her. You can see the website at the bottom of the screen scrolling. That's formosaic.com. These are the services that she offers. Hey, you can also go to that QR code. That's the number. Listen, there is no excuse why you cannot get services from her, because I promise you, because she's on the show, that means you need her. And so let her be a blessing to your life, your business, whatever you got going on, she can help. Also, you want to get that promotion, you want to go to the next level, you want to be a better leader. Hey, leadership evolution, believe in the power of your own transformation. This is something that you need to change your life, to help you get to where you need to go. Go to Amazon, go to Kindle, go wherever you need to go to get this book. And it's right there. Right there. I believe that, hey, Christmas is coming up. I think this would be a great gift for all those out there that you can, that you see may need a little help, but also something for yourself. Get yourself something. Get it for your whole family. I'm telling you, it's not the price of a mortgage. You can buy a bunch of these books and be a blessing not only to yourself, but to those around you. So make sure you go to Amazon, a Kindle, and get this. Again, I thank you, Renee, for coming on today. If there's any last words that you want to share with the audience, that can catapult them into their next level? Let's hear it.
Okay, Jonathan, thank you for that. Thank you for inviting me today. Hey, if y'all don't know Jonathan, you need to know him a little bit more, right? So I said, he is just a lovely person, lovely personality, just full of life. If you're around him, you can't do nothing but smile. At first, I used to be like, what? Ain't nobody smiling like that all the time, but I have to remember I'll be smiling too. So, because just that joy, right, that you just have, and you just like, ain't nothing, it might be moments, right? But at the end of the day, right, as Jonathan say, today is your day, right? And so you have to know today is your day, right? Not only that, but it's your moment, it's your time, it's your season, right? And you're in the age that which you are in. So I'm saying, if you want to lead, if you have a desire to lead, well, first of all, I think we all God designed us to be leaders in our own way, right? It's whether you make a decision, whether you want to rise up to the occasion and be developed or not. And so love is just the foundation that we need to function and operate in to lead and lead well and lead effectively, right? So I'm super excited about that. Look, and my motto, one of my mottos is, right, people don't read. People don't read. What, I don't know what's wrong. These people don't read out here. But y'all need to read more. Y'all need to read more, right? What did older people used to say? I'm not really good with these sayings. My husband has to help me out because he's from the South. So it's like, what is it like? Reading it, it's not reading is money, but I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so I have this this model, whatever, that I'm like, and I'm doing bags or whatever with it too. But it's like, leaders read. They read. You get information. You put yourself in a place of learning constantly all the time. Where are you going to get some knowledge and understanding? Of course, from the Lord, but also by reading, right? That's where this revelation and understanding will come from. Development will come from, but it's not going to happen if you're not reading. You can't look at Jonathan and be like, oh, I want to be like Jonathan. And you be trying to study Jonathan and be a copycat. No, be you. Be you, right? And that's not, it's not going to happen if you're not reading, So I just encourage you to pick up a book. I love to ask people, how many books have you read this year? How many books have you read this month? Right? So you should be reading at least one book a month. At a minimum, you should be reading one book a month, right? So like right now, y'all want to know what I'm reading?
Tell us.
I'm reading a devotional, 31 Days for Business Entrepreneurs by Jonathan Davis. That is one of the books that I'm reading. I am. It's not, and I'm not lying about it. And so that's one of the books I'm reading right in the morning. And then before I go to bed at night, actually, Ron Davis, all these D's today. But Ron Davis, he has a book called Kingdom. I think it's called Kingdom Come, the Power of Prayer, somewhere along that, right? And I'm reading, it's called Doing Wrong What's Made Right, something like that. It's another leadership book. But yeah, so I just encourage you all to pick up a book and read. I encourage you that if you need help, hey, if you're not coming to me, but you should always have a coach, you should always have a mentor, right? And you should always have a good group of people around you that is upholding you and not tearing you down.
That's good. That's good. And thank you. Thank you for the plug, and thank you for reading my book.
I'm reading it, Jonathan.
I'm honored. I'm so honored, but thank you. Thank you so much. I thank you again for coming on the show. You are always welcome to come back, because I want the world to know who you are. You have been a blessing to me since I've met you, and you can just feel that love that you exude and God's blessings and anointing on your life. So I'm honored that you say yes to come on the show and share with my audience who you are and all that you do. Again, y'all reach out to her. Go to www.formosaic.com, sign up, book her, and let her help change your life. Also, go to Amazon and get her book. I'm going to put it back up because she's amazing, and I want you all to buy it. Leadership Evolution, believe in the power of your own transformation. Get your copy now. You ain't got to wait till the show's over. Get it now.
Get it now.
Now. Christmas is coming up, and I need y'all's tree to be under it. And so you can just pass it out. Give it to your neighbors. Say, hey, you all need this to change your life. So we are excited about it. We're excited that you came and grateful. And so again, thank you so much for coming on. Audience, I want you to know that it doesn't have to be your birthday for today to be your day.